Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. You notice I'm wearing something? This is one of my Christmas gifts. It's, yeah, you know what it is, Survey Core. It's a sweater. It's a sweater my father got me for Christmas on Amazon. This wasn't supposed to come until, like, what? Um, Past New Year's Eve? And it came today. I'm like, still waiting on Fanro. Like, what's their problem? Get the fucking program. But anyway, that's beside the point. Final episode review. Time. Coppelion. Yes. Okay. This series, in all honesty, people who only watched the anime are probably going to go ahead and say, oh, this was a great show. This was awesome. Now, I don't know if it's true because I haven't read the manga. But Killing with a Shotgun, she's the one who mentioned this to me, said that in this anime, they skipped chapters. But I wouldn't know because I haven't read the manga, so I don't know this. But even though that even if that is true, overall series, I have to say 8.5 out of 10. Yeah. I would say it is slightly better than Kanata. Not the best of the season, but it is slightly better than Kanata. And why do I say that? Well, I say that because the animation, because how they did the animation, how they did the story, and how they went about it, and I like the overall feel of Coppelion. I like the message of you have these girls who are, these genetic engineered dolls who are trying to help people, and not taking away anything from Kanata. Kanata was a good anime, but there were some holes. So in Kanata, with the story and everything, and how there was that one episode, and stuff. But Coppelion, even though if it is true that they did that with the gap in the chapters and not putting it in the anime, I still gave it an 8.5 out of 10 because a general sense of how crazy this anime was. The action sequences were pretty damn boss. I thought, they did it well. They did the animation well, especially in this episode. Now, this was the final episode called Angel, episode 13. Majority of this episode, what ends on happening is there's the final battle between Naruse and the Uzu sisters. It's kind of interesting to note, and this is another reason why I like this show. I like the concept of... We also find something else out that we don't know, that is said by the vice principal, but we don't know what it is. Yeah. And that intrigued me. Very much so. And it made me think, oh, there's going to be another season. Even though the way it ended, with this episode, the final episode, I know for a fact, I just have a feeling definitely it's going to happen, a second season. Because with what went down, in this episode. So pretty much and let's go into summary. Episode 13. We have the Uzu sisters. They basically come in with this, the what remained of the Iron Spider robot. And we have Kanin. I believe that's her name. Right? Yeah, Kanin, Uzu. And she's using her electricity to control the spider. She's basically using these iron strings on each leg of the spider to control it and such. And she's using that, and she's going to attack the train. Pretty much, that's what's going on in this episode, in this part. And they have a fight pretty much, and we have also another scene with the vice principal and the guy that's with him, and they're basically arguing of getting the troops there and so on and so forth, and telling them to get on the plane, the helicopter, and they're basically going to go on there and they're going to help them and get them out of there to go to the area that they're at, the old capital. And this episode, the action was done well, and there, you felt a sense of sadness and like emotional stuff going in towards the end. And the battle was pretty, not much to it. I mean, they were fighting with each other. She was shooting the rocket. She was going with the spider's legs and shit. Eventually what happens is Cannon, the spider jumps and goes in the air and lands on the train. And the one part that happens is Naruse tries to shoot this, what was it? She tries to shoot the water tower. This like water thing that's on top of this building that comes down. She tries to shoot it, and Cannon blocks it, and she shoots her down, and she's about to kill her. And the whole premise of Cannon and her sister, what the whole deal is. And this is another reason I really like the show. I like the whole concept of the dolls, and they were turned into dolls, created like this way, and they're just going to be their tools, that whole concept. And they're doing this. The reason why the Uzu sisters, is because they feel that they were used as tools, and they want to kill humanity and all that just. And she's about to attack and kill Naruse, and Naruse, she's just thinking, she's on the ground, she's crying kind of, and she sees the bomb that Haruto gave her. So she takes it and she throws it, pulls the chain, throws it at the water tower, and the water comes out of it and just electrocutes Cannon. And then the spider comes down, and we have a scene where, that Cannon and her sister are going to get pulverized by the side of the tracks. And what ends on happening is she wants to help them, obviously, and she's asking for help. So Aoi is there with the foreman, and they're helping her get his Shion's sister out. Shion, Cannon's sister. And then the whole concept is that Cannon was saying to Naruse, they left us here to die in this wasted world, this forgotten world, and nothing good. What is the point of living on? And she falls, but Naruse grabs her, and she's saying this to her. What's the point of living on? And Cannon, Naruse is telling her, I don't know the answer to that, but something did good come out of this. You became my friend. And I was like, oh, kind of moment. So she pulls her up. They're on the train. And, this whole thing with the Uzu sisters, it really was just, they felt betrayed. They were turned into monsters. They're not human anymore. It was really interesting to see that concept in this anime. That they were turned into monsters. They're not humans. What's the point of living? That concept was thoroughly shown through once we were introduced to the Uzu sisters. Because at first you think they're just freaking nuts. And it is psychotic. But as you begin to learn more about them, you realize, oh, they just, And basically what happens is she saves them, and so on and so forth. And Shion's trying to, this is part where Shion's trying to thank her. He's trying to thank her, and she can't. And then Kanan says, "Thank you very much for saving us and stuff." And it was touching, it was moving. The rest of the episode was pretty much Vice Principal. He's on the helicopter. Everybody's on the helicopter. The troops, and they're going to save them. They get there in time, and then we have this another sad moment. Genai, that old man. He died. That was sad. That was fucking sad. That was ridiculous. He died, and it was like when they first got there. You see the crimson like sunset, that area of the place where they were going, because they were going to the old capital, and they get picked up by the vice principal, and the babies are born. Her babies, and there's a boy and a girl, and it was a touching moment. Everyone was crying. It was sad. It was sad, and what ends on happening is they get everybody pretty much except for I think the foreman. I think the foreman. I think was the only one who foreman, and then that was it. But Ibuki and her father and, so on and so forth, they were on the helicopter. And this is what kind of stunned me. I was wondering about it. I was like, why isn't he saying it? The vice principal is about to say something to them. Like, oh, they didn't tell you. He says something about them. And they have like shocked looks on their faces. But we don't know what it is. It's probably what the Uzu sisters were on. The whole concept that they just, I think he mentioned he wanted to tell them, he told them that they eventually are going to die. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what he was saying. So we have that moment, and then the rest of the episode is pretty much them waving goodbye, and then they go off, and their field trip continues. And then it's kind of funny because then they got the credits rolling. Oh, by the way, the ending scene, the ending song credit. Wow, awesome song. Anyone in the comment section that can tell me where that song is, if you could where I could find that song, you're my man. You're my man for the day, or woman. But anyway, they're playing this awesome song, and then we see them walking away, and then following them are the Uzu sisters. So they're friends with them now, obviously, and they're going to follow them around, I guess, and stuff. And that's the end of the episode. So overall, I give this a 4 out of 5. The fight scene was pretty good. Not as great as the other fight scenes in Coppelion, but give it an 8.5 out of 10, because I felt that as a whole, the concept was good, the animation was good. Okay. Concept was good, the animation was good, the story was interesting, and I can see that maybe the manga people might have a point. Maybe they did skip chapters. I wouldn't know because I haven't read the manga. But as far as the anime is concerned, based on the anime only, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. It was really something special, and I really kind of liked how how things happened in this show. I personally think the point when Coppelion went really good was when they encountered the First Division. That was probably my favorite part in this series. That was the favorite part. Once they encountered the First Division. Because once they encountered the First Division, they had to do all this shit with them and try to fight them. And that was the most exciting, thrilling part of the anime, I think, from my point of view. But good series, 8.5 out of 10. If you guys ever go see it, go see Coppelion. It's a good anime. I mean, the manga readers obviously have a point. but I still think it's a good anime. At least deserving of at least an 8.5 out of 10. Maybe not a 10 out of 10, but definitely an 8.5 out of 10. So, yeah. Because I was just looking at other people's opinions on it on Anime News Network and these reviewers on there, and most people gave it a 4 out of 5. You know, but that was only based first impressions. But overall, from seeing it from beginning to end, 8.5. For animation was good. The story was awesome. Story progression was a little hit and miss here and there, but still, it at least deserves to be an 8.5 out of 10. Once you get to that point when the first division comes in, that was when it got really good. And that's what I think made me change my rating for it. But yeah, that's pretty much the story, people. Bankai 922. Oh, by the way, I was in a hangout with Lamar and everybody. And they told me this guy doesn't like you, Bankai. You're not going to say that. I'm not stealing Joten's line. I'm making up my own line. And what? Like, am I supposed to care? He doesn't like me. Okay. By the way, there's a little thing called I don't give a fuck. Yeah. It's called I don't give a fuck. So, whoever that person was, I don't give a fuck. But enough of that. Good series. Go watch Coppelion. I'm Bankai 922. Only Strike the Blind. That's all I am reviewing for the fall now. That's the story, people. I'm Bankai 922. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.